My name is Ashish Kumar. I am an assistant professor, Computer Science Engineering Department, Akgec Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today is my lecture 5 and my topic is RAID and file system. In that topics I have to discuss about discuss about RAID and types of RAID and files and file attributes and file allocation method. First I have to discuss about the RAID. Basically, RAID is a redundant array of independent disk. It is also called the redundant array of inexpensive disk. Basically, why use the redundant array independent disk? First question is why used? Because using of the redundant array of independent disk, availability of data is fast and security of data is increased. So I have to today in that times I have to use the redundant array of independent disk. Basically, first it is introduced. This idea is David Patterson Gibson at University of Berkeley in 1998. The basic idea behind RAID is to combine multiple small inexpensive disk drive into an array to equalize performance redundancy goal not attended with one large and expensive. Consists of 7 level 0 through 6. Basically, all of you know that Mark Zuckerberg, Facebooks and WhatsApp in that times 6 to 7 hours is dead. So in that times basically it is totally depends on the data backups. So in that times very facing the some basic problem related to the data. Basically, we have to use in the Facebooks and WhatsApps and Twitter. All of you use the basically transformation of the data and messages from the one places to another places. So in that times, if 6 to 7 hours disk 6 to 7 hours, if Facebooks and WhatsApp is blocked, so some losses are facing for the Mark Zuckerberg. So basically, redundant array of independent disks basically in that type of problem are solved, because basically it is the create the backup of the data in that time and if improve the efficiency of data and the security of the data. So basically in that topics I have to discuss about the 7 level of redundant array. So first is a redundant array. Basically, RAID is a collection of a small drive of package as an array appear in the single logical disk. First here discuss about the RAID 0. Basically in RAID 0 I have to divide the data in the some part. Here of the in picture of you see that A data is divided into A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6 and A7 and A8. Basically it is a provide the some high efficiency of data and work very fast for division of the data in different disks because access of data is very easily. So RAID 0 basically use for the provide the some efficiency of the data and easy to access of the data fast. And here mention some point, so you have to read there. The data is to be stored is divided into number of parts called strips, and we load these strips across the member of disk of the array. In that case, if one disk are failed, suppose disk 0 is failed, in that disk is failed, so disk 1 is also there. So work is continue fast, but in case of the both disks are failed, so data is collapsed. So in this problem is solved in the RAID 0. RAID 0 basically some data is stored in the disk 1, A, B and C data in disk 1. So I have to in RAID 1 case we have to create the some mirror here data is not stripping in that cases, just to create the mirror. See if in case of if disk 1 is collapsed and disk 1 is corrupted, so disk 2 data is availability, so it is a provide the security of data, matlab that times in a same time data is not collapsed, so data is available in and I have to use the data easy way. So next is RAID 2. RAID 2 basically in that times RAID 2 are not uses. So basically same features are included in the RAID 3, but I have discussed RAID 2. In RAID 2 basically use the some parity, and parity are stored at the different disks, and it is a every data is created the own parity. So it is a create some issues. So in that features are included in the RAID 3. So here also read the some in a competitive exam and university exam point of view, you write down the RAID 2, some pointer here mentioned. So first point is the redundancy schemes of RAID 2 is a Hamming code. The script are very small in this level, often all as small as a single byte or words. The Hamming code is calculated across corresponding bit positions on disk. The bit of the codes are stored in the corresponding bits position on multiple disks. RAID 2 is rarely implemented. So here mentioned last point is the RAID 2 is rarely implemented. Basically, that feature is added in the RAID 3, and basically RAID 3 is implemented. In RAID 3 cases, you have seen the picture, some disk, 3 disks are used here for storing the data, disk 0, disk 1 and disk 2, and data is already bifurcated from the A is bifurcated in the A1, A2 and A3. So, one disk are created for the parity basis. Suppose parity means basically if suppose value of x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2 and z is equal to 3. So, total value of x plus y plus z is equal to 6. So, here parity of A is here mentioned 6. So, if one disk are failed, suppose A1 disk are failed, so we have to easy to find out value of disk 1 because already you know that the parity. But in case of all parity are stored in a single disk, so if disk are collapsed, so facing the some problem. But in case of one problem are also facing, if two data storing disk is collapsed, so I have to not find the data properly. So it is the main disadvantage of this RAID 3. So here some point are discussed. So RAID G is organized in a similar fashion of RAID 2, but it requires only a single disk. RAID 3 employ parallel access with the data distributed in small strips. Instead of the error correcting code, a simple parity bit is a computed of the for the set of individual bit is in same position. In the event of failure, the parity drive is accessed and the data is reconstructed. Okay. Next is a RAID 4. RAID 4 it is also not implemented part because sometimes or not uses the RAID 4 because it is similar to the RAID 3. So here mention point, block are greater than the bit and only one disk is used here. The main disadvantage is that the parity blocks on drive can be bottleneck during the write operation. Bottleneck that means ki maximum data fetching or request is arrived here. So bottleneck situation is provided. So RAID 4 situation is resolved in the RAID 5. Basically in RAID 5 condition, I have to distributed the parity values in the different disk. So parity of A, parity of C, parity of B. You have to see in that pictures. You have to see in that pictures parity are stored in the different disks. So in that case, utilization of disk is very fast, data security is fast, efficiency of disk is very fast. So this is the main advantage of the RAID 5. But in case of disk is collapse or disk is blocked, so some issues are facing in that time. So that problems are resolved in the RAID 6. In RAID 6, two different parity. But in case of the RAID 6, I have to parity increases. So if a value of A data parity is only one not created, it is created as a part of 2-way. So in that data is stored in different disks. So data availability is easily to access and efficiency is high and security is also available because data is every time is available 24/7 in the through the disk. So next and last is RAID 10. It is not say that the RAID 10, basically it is a combination of RAID 1 and RAID 0. Just at RAID dot what is the position of the RAID 0, RAID 10 and 1 plus 0 is a RAID configuration, that combination of disk mirroring and disk stripping to protect the data. It requires minimum 4 disks and the strip of data across the mirror pair. This two number of format RAID 10 is a 1 plus 0 is known as nested RAID. Other nested RAID level are the RAID 1, 01, 03, 50, G60. It is also for the nested RAID. So here in figure discuss about the figure. So here RAID 1 basically RAID 1 say that the create the some mirror and Z0 basically bifurcate the data. So here just I bifurcate the data in two way and create the some mirror through the red one, and red 0 basically bifurcation of the data in different way. So here mentioned red 0 and plus 4 are mentioned in the one figure. So first in the case of red 0 and case of the red 0 plus 1 and red 1 and here mentioned in this. So first is case of red 1, data is red 0 is data is bifurcated in two form. Okay, same mirror are stored in the red one. Basically it is a one work, and it is a another word. So it is just create the image, the bifurcation data and create the image. So availability data very fast, and accessibility is very fast and easy to access, and availability is 24/7. So next is what is a file? File basically you have to write some information in a doc, in other doc word file, doc and notepad is the part of the files and stored in the directory in the different formats. A file can be defined as a structure which stores the sequence of record. File are stored in the file system, which may exist on the disk or in the main memory. File can be simple plain text or complex, especially formatted. Okay. File basically is stored in the plain text form or simple complex text form, basically stored in the directory. The collection of files is known as the directory. The collection of directories at the different level as is known as a file system. What is the directory? Directory basically provide the relation between the files. All of you know that all files are unique, and unique name provide the unique names. So it is stored in the directory forms. So your file system is there, data, files, directory and file system are here mentioned. Attributes of files. Some attributes are there in files are names, identifier, types, locations, size, protection, time and date. Name, basically all files are a unique identification name. So every file carries a name by which the file recognized in the file system. One directory can not have two files with the same name. So all of you know that कि अगर कोई एक फाइल हम स्टोर कर रहे हैं तो सेम नाम के फाइल को हम स्टोर नहीं कर सकते, मतलब फाइल का एक डिफरेंट नेम दिया जाता है जिससे कि वो फाइल को हम इजी टू एक्सेस कर सके. ठीक है. सेम आइडेंटिफायर जैसे डॉट एक्सटेंशन हियर मेंशन सेकंड पॉइंट एक्सटेंशन इज .txt, mp4. Basically mp4 is related to the video files and txt is a file systems. So it is a main identifier. This file is a video related files or this file is a text related files. Next is type. In a file system, the files are created different types such as the video files, audio files, text file, executable files. Okay, these are the types is the very important because how to know that that file is a video files, audio files, text file, executable files, etc. Location, where the file is stored first. So in the file system there are several locations on which the files can be stored. Each file carries its location as it's here. Next is the size. The size of the file is one of the most important attributes. By the size of the file we mean the number of bytes acquired by the files in the memory. Protection, the admin of the computer may want to different protection of the different files, therefore each file carries its own set of permission to the different group of users. Time, date, every file carries a time stamp which contains the time and date on which the file last modified. So all of you know that the some attributes of any file because you are also created the files and provide the some unique names, some identifiers, some identity locations, size and protection and time tab where the file I have to create it. Next is operation on the files. मतलब किसी भी फाइल के ऊपर क्या क्या ऑपरेशन कर सकते हैं. The first is the create files. So creation of the file is the most important operation on the file. Different types of file are created by the different methods. For example, text editor are used to create a text file. Word processor are used to create word file. Image editor are used to create the image file. मतलब different file are. First step is the different create the files in form of text, in form of image, in form of words. फिर first create करना, then write करना, then read करना, repositioning, delete and truncate. Some features are given here the population of the files related. So first is the create, then you write something, that means ki file is open and writes some values and some points related to the files and related to the text files, related to the any others. Writing the file is different from the creating the file. The OS maintains a write pointer for every file which the point to the position in the file from which the data needs to be written. Next is read. Every file is opened in 3 modes: read, write, append. Read pointer is maintained by the OS pointing the position of the which the data has been repositioning. Repositioning is simply moving from the file pointer forward or backward depending upon the user requirement. It is also called the seeking one form to another form. Deleting if a file are used, then you have to delete the file. If unnecessary file you have deleted. Deleting the files will not only delete all the data stored inside the file, it also delete all the attributes of the file. The space which allocated to the file will become available and can be allocated to the other files. Truncating is a simply deleting the files except deleting attributes. Only file deletes, means value of file is deleted. The file is not completely deleted, although the information is stored inside the file get replaced. File is totally not deleted. Next is a file allocation method. File allocation method is the most important method. Basically, file system divided the file in the form of logically in a different values, different part. File divided in different part and stored or disk as a sector. Basically, dash sector is available in the track of disk. So file are stored in the different sectors in a hard disk and disk external storage storage. So it is a form of form of you store the data in a hard disk. So here mentioned the file allocations define how the file system is stored in the disk blocks. There are 3 main disk space or on file allocation methods. Basically, here mentioned contiguous, linked list allocation and index allocation. Basically, the file are stored in the 2 form. First is contiguous, or second is non-contiguous. So, contiguous, linked list and index, it is a part of the non-contiguous, and contiguous allocation, that means it is a part of the contiguous. It is also called the sequential allocation of the file, and that is called the contiguous allocation of the files. So, next is first is a contiguous allocation. In that allocation, basically this is a suppose our disk 1, 2, 3. It is a some sector of the disk, and suppose one file are given sizes of file. There is a suppose 4 bytes file. Suppose a file is there. So that files is stored in the disk is form of the 1, 2, 3 and 4 form. That means the sequential form are stored in the disk. So it is the continuous form of the store the data. Some example are here given. First one example are given. So count value is count, tr, mail, list and f. That value file are given, and that file is stored in the some hard disk. So count values is started basically 0 to 0, and tr values is started the 14, and mail values is started 19, l is 28 and f is 6. So here basically first you store the value of count. So count basically start here 0. So 0 and it is cover the length of 2. So basically is cover length 2. And another value is tr, as it is started from the 14th and the length is 3. Suppose here this cover is length. And next is mail. Mail is started from 19 position and cover position for this. because it's the size of given in the 6, and next is a 28 position, and size is a 4, and next is a 6, and size is a 2. So I have to store the different directory value is in the disk, but some issues are there. So because in that case you have to not increases the file of size, and external fragmentation are there in that condition, sequential of condition. So here mention some advantage and disadvantage. So I have to check that what is the advantage of the sequential allocation and disadvantage of the sequential allocation. So first is both the sequential and directed access are supported by this. For the direct access, the address of the kth block of the file which start block B can easily be obtained as the B plus K. So basically in that means ये है कहने का मतलब कि अगर कोई भी डाटा अगर अवेलेबल है इस डिस्क के अंदर, तो इजी टू एक्सेस है थ्रू सिक्वेंशियल एलोकेशन, बिकॉज ऑल ऑफ यू नो दैट कि काउंट का साइज क्या है मेरा 2. अगर काउंट का 2 है और स्टार्ट वैल्यू इज 0 इज गिवन, सो लेंथ ऑफ इज 2, सो काउंट इज फर्स्ट 2 blocks are stored. Again tr is start from value is 14th and size is tr is 3, so tr basically is stored in the 3 blocks, and same as mail and list are there. So easy to access every values and every data through the sequential allocation. The next point is this is extremely fast since the number of seek are minimally because of contiguous allocation of file or blocks. Basically seek time basically desired locations. Suppose this is my track and some sector are there, so value of 6 is here, so directly move on the 6 value, so seek time is very low and easy to access the data. Disadvantage: this method suffer from the both internal external fragmentation. This makes it inefficient in terms of the memory utilization. Increase the file size is difficult because it depends on the availability of contiguous memory allocation and particle. So before already say that the external fragmentation are there, because if the file of external fragmentation, because 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks is already here vacant, but the data is not stored here. Some internal fragmentation, if the file size are minimum related to the block size, so it is an internal fragmentation. And file size are not increased. If file size of suppose count is increased from the 8, but here is not stored the 8 in, because only 4 blocks are vacant, so it is not stored in the sequential manner. Next is linked list allocation. Linked list, all of you know that linked list basically works on the pointer. Basically it is a to divide two form. Basically in a linked list structure, basically the one is a start store the value, suppose value of A, and store the address of the next value address. It is work on in this form. So I take some one example, then you have to easy to understand. So in this example, the file zip in the following images show how the block are randomly distributed. In the last block 25 contains -1 in the again null pointer and does not point to any other blocks. So here a file size is start is 9 and in from 25, and that means file is started from the 9 position. So it is a 9 position here given, and it is a block and divided into some values, and one value here stored in other places and another different location. I have to file because file system basically divided the file in the logically in the different parts, and different part are stored in the different location. In the contiguous form, or file are stored in the sequential form, but in the linked list method you file is a different location, and every location provide the another value of pointer to before value in form of, suppose value 1 is stored in here, and it is also store the value of 2 address. So pictures are not clearly basically, so in form of the ways, suppose we have to store value 1, and 1 is store the address of 2, address value of 2. So easy to access, where store the two data in a disk, easy to access. So some advantage and disadvantage are given in the related to the linked list. This is a very flexible in term of the file size. File size can be increased easily since the system does not have to look for a contiguous chunk of memory. This method does not suffer from external fragmentation because data easily is stored in the any places. So external fragmentation not a big issue. So easy to resolve the external fragmentation because the data is stored any places on the blocks. The file chip and flowing images on how the block are randomly distributed. The last so already discussed about. Then so advantages. This method does not suffer from the external fragmentation. Already see in the pictures how to external fragmentation resolve. Makes it relatively better in terms of memory utilization. Disadvantage because the file blocks are distributed randomly. On the disk, a large number of SICs are needed to access every block individually. Because in case of the individual size are in where data is located, so SIC time is increases in case of the linked list file location. Another is it does not support random or direct access. We can not directly access the block of a file. A block k of a file can be accessed by the traversing k block sequentially from the starting block of the block of pointer required in the linked list location incur the some extra overhead. So data move from the one position to another position which is across the every values. So it is a take the sometimes another is a index allocation. In case of index allocation, all of you know that if you read any books, so in the first page you have to introduce some index. Index basically provide the where the data is available, in which page are available in data. So here design basically one index block are there. So data is stored in the different position and one index are created and index through the index we have to move on the exact location of the data. So and data is stored in any places. So just in different from the linked list to index. In index cases, I have to create the one index blocks where the data data pointer is available and data where data is stored in the whole disk are mentioned in the block. So some advantage, this supported direct access to the block occupies by the file and therefore provide fast access to the file blocks. It overcomes the problem of external fragmentation. Next is disadvantage, the pointer overheads for index allocation is greater than linked allocation. And next is disadvantage for very small files, say file that expand only 2 to 3 blocks and index allocation particularly would be on entire blocks for the pointer which inefficient in term of memory utilization. However, the linked allocation we lose the space of only one pointer per blocks. Basically in case of main disadvantage, if the size of the file is big, so indexing will be easy to create different blocks. So utilization of space is big and so file utilization is greater in comparison to the linked list. So different blocks I have to create the index. So storing part is required maximum data storing points. So the main disadvantage of the indexing of the file. So thank you. Okay, bye.